I love this recipe, like 100% would be excited to wake up and eat these every morning, which is always good if you're trying to stick to a keto diet. Hey everyone, Dave here, back in the kitchen, and today it's breakfast time. So we're gonna make a really good make-ahead meal plan breakfast so we can enjoy all week. And it's gonna be keto today. So to start off, we're gonna wanna preheat our oven to 375. So we're gonna start off with a bowl. You're also gonna need a muffin tin, muffin pan if you have one. You want a bowl, and then you want some riced cauliflower. Now I did thaw this overnight in the fridge. You're supposed to get the water out too, I'm pretty sure. Usually that's how this works. So we want to strain this. I probably could use a cheesecloth, right? Kind of like I do with cottage cheese. Maybe I should do that. I think that'd work better than a paper towel. It's not something I do often, so, you know, we're kind of winging it. So we're gonna take the riced cauliflower, put it on the cheesecloth. If it's not thawed already, guys, you can throw it in the microwave to thaw it. We'll ball that up, and we're just gonna squeeze out the liquid. We want it to be nice and dry. Hopefully it works. Yeah, there we go, that's working. Not as satisfying as when you do cottage cheese though. It's still pretty cold. Even though it's been thawing overnight, it's still pretty chilly in there. Oops, spilling it. We gotta measure it. Now I squoezed it all together, and after it's squoezed all together, it's only about 1 cup, and I'm supposed to have 2 cups. I'll put the 1 cup in there, and then I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, who came up with this recipe, what we should do. Maybe we're gonna make a smaller recipe, I don't know. All right, so it just adjusted the recipe, so we'll have a little less than I was originally gonna do. You're supposed to do 2 cups, and I'll put the recipe for 2 cups worth down below. Either way, we've got the riced cauliflower. It's still a little wet, hopefully it's okay. Or maybe I'll just leave this recipe in. It'll make it easier if I just put what I do. 3/4 cups of mozzarella go in there next. Why am I measuring over the bowl? What a rookie mistake. I don't know, it's early in the morning, I'm hungry, that's why. You know, they say this is the worst way to store your parmesan, in a Ziploc bag, and yet here I am doing it anyways. Seems like it might be okay. It's a little sketch though. Wonder if I have a different one. I do have another, I do. Also stored completely incorrectly. Yeah, because it like adds moisture. I think you're supposed to wrap it in like a cloth or something. All right, so we're gonna grate up 1/4 cup of Gene Parmesan.
I'm a private detective, Gene Parmesan. How are you doing?
Gene! Oh, Gene, isn't he the best?
Private detective or whatever. Remember that from Arrested Development? I've probably talked about that before. He was hilarious. Go look up the clips on YouTube sometime. Gene Parmesan surprises. Oh, oven's preheated. The whole idea was he was like the private investigator, and to prove that he was sneaky, he would just like pop up in random places, be like, Gene Parmesan, private eye, or something like that. 1/4 cup of Parmesan goes in there, then an egg, and then Mrs. Bluth. She would always freak out because she was so excited about how sneaky he was. We then want to add 1 tablespoon of melted butter, tbsp, tablespoon. I almost just put this back in with my silverware. That would have been kind of funny. I'm gonna put that on a plate basically and just melt it for like 15 seconds. All right, we'll dump that 1/4 tablespoon of butter in with the cauliflower and all that. All right, so we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and then a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. I'm not really sure what that means. We'll just add a little bit of each and mix it up. And I'm not gonna taste it, although maybe I should, like that. Yeah, a little more. And then you mix it up. Just take a fork and mix it up like that. And this is basically gonna be the crust for this amazing make-ahead breakfast. It is gonna be keto friendly, guys. I haven't even told you what it is yet because it's a unique meal, a unique dish. You gotta wait till the end to see what it is because I don't know how to describe it other than it should be delicious. All right, we are going to grease our muffin pan with some like olive oil spray and hopefully it doesn't stick. You may wanna use silicone muffin tin, a silicone muffin tin if you have one. Now because we did like half the original recipe, we're only gonna get 6 out of this, but that's all right, 6 is enough for now. We just wanna kind of divide it evenly in 6 different muffin cups, like so. I don't know if I'm putting too much or not. I guess I'm just gonna put a little bit in each one of the 6, and then we'll see if we have any left. We do have a little, add a little more to some of these. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now we're gonna use our hands and turn these into little cup shapes, little bowls, basically. Gonna be little bowls, and hopefully they don't get stuck. I am concerned a little bit that these are gonna get stuck in here and not come out. Time will tell. I've never made them before. It's a surprise for me too. I'm not really sure how tightly I'm supposed to pack these. It says press up on the sides to form cups, basically. We're trying to do that. Then we're gonna throw these into the oven at 375. I'm smooth. For 15 minutes, and we're gonna work on the filling. Now to start, we're gonna need to cook up some sausage. So I'm gonna come over to my dirty stovetop here, and we're gonna We're just take a thing. I got like the Jimmy Dean sausage. We're just gonna open that. And we're gonna cook it up on the stovetop like you would any sausage. We've all probably done this a few times, but if not, it's quite simple. You can't really mess it up. You don't need grease or anything. It's greasy enough. You just put it in there, turn on the oven, and keep an eye on it. All right, and then as it starts to sizzle, we're just gonna break up the sausage a little bit. We're gonna break it up a little bit and kind of turn it over here and there until it all gets browned up. And this did tell me to go with the maple sausage, which you may want to go with the original. I think the maple has like a carb or two, whereas the original probably has closer to 0. But it depends on how strict you're being on carbs for your keto. Oops, let me just move everything around. But just let that all cook up. Why is this thing moving so easily? It's crazy. Now while the sausage does its thing, we're gonna put 6 eggs into a bowl. This is also gonna be part of our filling. Wow, that was horrible. Ugh, all shell, no egg. All right, so try again. Oh my gosh, what in the world? I'm having egg issues, guys. It just broke in half. Maybe I'm hitting them too hard. Look, these are like all right, forget these eggs. I've got another set of eggs. Okay, that's 2. There you go. 3, 4, 5, and 6. No shell, no shell, no whammy, no whammy. I think we somehow got lucky enough to not get that shelly. What the shell is going on with the eggs here? Okay, 1/4 cup of heavy cream goes into the egg mixture here. No pun this time. 1/4 cup straight in. Ooh, that was kind of satisfying. It was like pouring oil into water. We want 2 ounces of cream cheese. I always have trouble when it tells me ounce. Oh, here we go. There's a thing on the side. Okay, 2 ounces like right there. Like right about there probably. Like there, yeah. We're gonna eyeball the cream cheese, but the idea, like 2 ounces of cream cheese. It says cubed, so we're gonna just break it up into some smaller pieces and then drop it in here. Oh, this adds gooiness, it says. Gooiness is always preferred. All right, so now we're gonna add 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar to the egg mixture. And I'm just gonna use my 1 cup and basically do half of it. I would say our sausage is really close or pretty much done. But I'm gonna leave it in there with the heat turned down for a minute because I did forget to saute an onion, so we gotta do that. We actually only need like 2 tablespoons. And I know you're like, Dave, what is on your knife? It's the cream cheese from earlier. You know, I'm a real guy. I don't have 5,000 knives. I do have a lot of knives, but that's just because I'm disorganized, not because I'm, fancy. So we're just gonna take a little bit of onion and dice it up incorrectly, as always. Probably overcooking the sausage over there. I don't want it to be too big a slices of onion, but, decent size. Now we actually only need, again, me realizing too late, we actually only need about 1 cup of this cooked sausage. So we're gonna have a lot of leftover sausage. So I'm just gonna fill up my cup measure with the sausage like so, because it is done. It's donezo. Remember Enzo from Seinfeld? There's our deep cut reference. I'm just gonna put that back on. I'm just gonna leave the sausage grease on it. It'll add flavor, and I'm gonna saute these onions up on that same hot skillet, like so. Just kind of soften them up a little bit for a couple minutes. In the meantime, we will add the sausage. Well, actually, you know what? Let's stir up this egg mixture first to let the sausage cool for a minute. So, looks pretty good. I wonder if I feel like my cream cheese should have been smaller, so I'm gonna squish it a little bit with my fork to kind of make sure it's evenly dispersed and not huge chunks. Now add the sausage in there. Hopefully it doesn't cook the eggs. I just realized that's technically possible, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Definitely could soften up the cream cheese a little more. And then the last thing I think that goes in here is gonna be those onions. Oh, those cauliflower cups should be done. It's been like 15 minutes. All right, this is interesting because they didn't really turn into cup formations. I wonder if we could like use a spoon to cupify them a little more. Yeah, kinda. They're kinda wet still. I might need to put them back in, but I'm trying to like make more of a cup formation out of these. Although it could just be like a stacked in like a layer kind of a situation. All right, so our onions, they got kind of crispy, but they're good enough. They've got that sausagey goodness on them. We're gonna add them into this mix as well for a little oniony delight flavor, and then mix that up. I was asking ChatGPT if my centers were too soggy. It said probably. So I put those cauliflower things back in. I might not have gotten enough liquid out of mine. Maybe I should have squozen in a little harder. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so my onions are mixed in there. Now while we cook those cauliflower cups a little longer, there's some optional upgrades you can do to this. One of them is little small slices of jalapeno, like so, that you can add to the tops of a few of them if you want a little spice in your life. If you want to spice up your life a little bit, I gotta be careful because when I touch jalapenos, all day I regret it. So I'm trying not to touch them too much. The other optional upgrade is bacon. Cooking up some bacon and using that as a topping. I'm not gonna do that because I forgot to order bacon. Quite simple. So a couple pieces of jalapeno. And you can leave the seeds in. The seeds, I think, add some spicy, or that white thing in the middle adds the spicy. I don't know. I'm not a huge spice guy, but I'm definitely gonna try a few of them with jalapeno on them. All right, we're pulling out these cauliflower cups, and I don't know. Will they burn my counter? Probably. I need another thingy. Yeah, we'll use cheesecloth. That'll do the trick, right? Maybe. Don't burn. I've got some burnt olive oil in those ones. And now we basically just wanna evenly distribute. Let me see if I can wipe that out. I shouldn't have sprayed these cups. Now I'm gonna respray these ones, because remember we only had half the cauliflower. So we've got the filling for 12 of these, but we only have 6. So we're just gonna dump that on, best we know how, to the cauliflower thingy, and fill up the muffin tins, like so. Hopefully you can see it. Hopefully I'm not blocking it completely. There we go. Another one. You can see the chunks of cream cheese. Looks delish. A little more in this one. A little more in this one. And then the rest we're just gonna put in the empty cups. These will be the crustless versions. If you don't like cauliflower, this is like an alternative option for you. It's like cupcakes, guys, but you know, keto and not cupcakey at all. And again, this is your moment where you can add some jalapeno to the top. Do a jalapeno on 3 of them. You could add some bacon, things like that. Then it goes back into the oven, same temperature. We never turned it off, 375. Try not to spill it. Now, I want to take a microwave safe bowl. These are microwave safe, yeah? Okay. And this is where we're gonna add or create our queso dip. It's not really a dip, queso spread. And we're gonna start off with some pepper jack that we're gonna grate. We're gonna have a great time with some pepper jack. That was cheesy. That side's too, it's not working. There we go, this one works. We want a ½ a cup of pepper jack cheese. That should be about a ½ a cup, yep. Into a bowl that is microwave safe. Then we want to take 3 ounces of our aforementioned cream cheese, which is gonna be just about half of this block here, into that as well. Then we're gonna add in 1/4 cup heavy cream. This thing has little markings inside it, which is kind of handy, so I can do different measurements with it. A tablespoon of diced green chilies. Now I need to find a can opener. All right, so we got some diced green chilies, can opened. We just want to take 1 tablespoon of those. This is like a real quick, simple keto queso dip. A tablespoon of water, and I'm just gonna use a bottle of water to facilitate that. And then just gonna take a little bit of smoked paprika to your taste, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. Then the same thing with some cumin, 1/4 teaspoon or so of that. That took me way too long to find. Mix that up a little bit. Doesn't need to be too mixed because we're gonna throw it right in the microwave for 30 seconds. And every 30 seconds, we're gonna pull it out till it's nice and melty and good. All right, that's the first 30 seconds. We're gonna just kind of smush our cream cheese a little bit here. It's starting to look kind of queso-y, but a little bit liquidy. I don't know. That's a big deal. Another 30 seconds. All right, 30 more seconds. Let's mix this again. It's definitely a little runny. I'm gonna add a little more of our pepper jack cheese. That will probably help it solidify a little bit. All right, so this is pretty queso-y at this point. Look at that. I think that's pretty good. We're probably gonna throw it in the microwave one more time when it's time to like apply it or whatever. It might actually be too rubbery now. I don't know, we'll see. Let's let the cauliflower cups finish and then we'll kind of finish it out and taste it. This is very interesting. These look like cupcakes, like quite literally. I'm gonna pull them out and I'm gonna show you and you're gonna be like, Dave, that's crazy. Those look like cupcakes. Look at this. Look at that. It looks like a stinking cupcake or a muffin. Let's make sure they're cooked through. This is pretty cool. Yeah, they're cooked through. Exciting is this. We've got a queso that we can pour on it. We've got one with a crust, one without. I might like the one without a crust, but what are my little chihuahuas doing? What are you guys doing? I got 2 little dogs in here. Come on, guys. So we're gonna take our fancy dancy paper plate. We're gonna see if we can get one of the cauliflower crust ones out. Is that a cauliflower crust? I can't tell. No, that's just egg, I think. No, I think that is cauliflower. That is a cauliflower. Wow, that came out good. That does have a cauliflower bottom on it. All right, now let's take just a pure egg one. Dang, look at that. Both of these look awesome. Let me move this out of the way. So check this out, guys. I'm pretty impressed, honestly. We've got a pure egg one. We got a cauliflower one. We then take our cheese dip like that, and you can save this and use it again tomorrow or something, just reheat it a little bit. And there we go. I think we all know, like, I can taste it without tasting it at this point, and to me, my brain's telling me it's gonna be good, but also hot and burn the flesh out of my mouth. So shall I be patient? Let's get a close-up of them. That's what they look like close up, guys. They look pretty darn good. This is the cauliflower one, down the hatch. That's really, really good, but so hot. Oh my goodness. I had to run in the house and bring one to my wife because I was so excited about how tasty it was. All right, let's try the one with no cauliflower crust. Yeah, that one's good too. They're both good, honestly. So if you don't like cauliflower, you can go without the cauliflower. I think the cauliflower does add a bit of substantial flavor, like texture really, to make it feel more hearty. So you can store these in an airtight container for 5 days in the fridge, guys, and they're gonna remain awesome. Just reheat them. I love this recipe. Like 100% would be excited to wake up and eat these every morning, which is always good if you're trying to stick to a keto diet. And these have almost no carbs. So definitely try them out, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought. We'll see you next time.